Hello, hello, hello. Be right with you guys. What's going on? Hello, Zach. How are you? How are you doing? Hopefully, well. That's so weird. Hold on one second. Let me get to my YouTube because I don't know why my restream is not. I probably blocked it. You know. Let us see. I am doing well, Zach. Thank you so much. Oh, that didn't help me much. Let me go here. Oh, I think I'm getting a cold. I don't know. Either that or it's just because I hurried up and ate Pop Tarts real quick. Community. There we go. Now, yeah, I think it's probably because it's Boomer's fault. I was watching his stream and he was eating some stew and it looked so good it got me hungry. And then, hello, Irma Futrell, how you doing? He was eating stew and it got me hungry. And then I'm like, well, I need something quick. So I opted for um, Pop Tarts. And they were kind of burning my mouth a little bit. So I think I just, wolfed them down too fast. And now my nose is running. Today we got some Freaky News Friday. We got some strange happenings with UFOs. We got some uh, talking about AI. Oh no, I can't tell what that is. What is that? Hold on a minute. That didn't help me either. I can't tell what that is. Is that a brown paper bag? Did you pack my lunch for me, Zach? Did you give me some lunch? What else we got going on here? We got some scientific exploration of deja vu, talking about building a moon base. We got some Bigfoot news, some haunted apple trees, some weird stuff going on about. Oh, and I froze my screen. um, Talking about some shadow people, all this stuff going on. All this stuff going on. So let me go ahead and switch to my big screen because for some reason my camera is not working. And let us get that going here, which is weird. Wow. Well, that's pretty weird. All right, hold on one sec. Come on, OBS. Jeez. OBS was screwing around with me last night, too. Does not like me. Yeah, it's not responding. Come on. Work with me. Work with me, OBS. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Video capture. Hey, Freaky Geek, how you doing? Trying to get everything set up here. That's not it. Oh my goodness, what is going on? I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better, but OBS is not working with me again. It's being mean to me. Remove. Okay. For some reason now my cam's not coming on. Let me unplug it and plug it back in. I gotta find which cord it is, you know how it goes. Okay, I'll have to use this one. Let's plug this in. Maybe. What is going on? Cancel. I'm getting there. Maybe. My ugly mug broke the cameras. There we go. Well, that's a little weird shot. Get over there. There we go. There we go. All right, now let's go down here. I know, right? There. I am here. Wrong camera. Now I'm going to look at the wrong camera the whole time. How are you guys? What's going on? Oi. When one camera don't want to work, we use the other one. Crazy. Crazy. Oh, Lord. How you guys doing? How is your Friday going? You gonna do some yard work? Do you have a nice weather there? It's a little chilly here. It snowed overnight. It snowed overnight a little bit. Not bad, not bad. But it does definitely have a chill in the air, and there's some low-lying snow clouds. Okay, Nightbot. I don't even know what. I just. I turned Nightbot off, and I don't know why it's going. Oh, cool. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, it's not bad here. It's chilly. You can definitely even with a sweatshirt. That's why I'm in my sweatshirt because it was like I went out for smoke and before going live, and I was like, you can definitely feel that cold chill, kind of like when fall it's turning to winter. You know what I mean? And there's some low-lying clouds, like I said, that are definitely snow clouds. They feel it. So I don't know what's going on. Wow, yeah. See, and it's only 10 a.m. here, so it shouldn't be getting cold like that. The sun's out. It's like we're swapping back to winter because it was warm last week. It got warmer last week, and you could actually feel the sun because in the wintertime, you can't really feel the sun. Even though it's out, it's colder. You want it to snow here in the winter because it becomes warmer. I know that's weird. Um, but yeah, so it's just, it's odd because you like can't feel the sun again, which sucks. So anyway, should we go ahead and get started? We got some good news coming in. I know, right? It should be spring. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. All right. So our first news article of the day: AI can turn human thoughts into the written word. Now I saw this and I kind of got creeped out a little bit, because it says, what if your thoughts could be directly converted to text? A remarkable new AI system that has been designed that can read what someone is thinking and turn it into text. That's not cool to me. Despite sounding like something out of a science fiction movie, brain computer interfaces capable of reading and interpreting someone's thoughts are fast becoming the real deal. I know, Freaky Geek. Same here. It would be a really bad idea. One of the most difficult aspects of reading what someone is thinking is understanding how specific thoughts are represented by different patterns of brain activity. These patterns are not the same for everyone. How we think, ain't that the truth? How we think about any given concept depends on our own experiences and memories. In a new study of the University of California, San Francisco, however, scientists have demonstrated the brain signals directly into text is actually possible. Four epilepsy patients with brain implants designed to monitor seizures were asked to read and repeat a series of short sentences while their brain activity was recorded and analyzed by a computer. The data then was processed by a neural network that could identify patterns corresponding to certain speech signatures, such as those associated with certain sounds or mouth movements. Exactly, Freaky Geek, exactly. Not to mention some words have many too many meanings and can be mistaken for other things. That's totally yes. Oh, thank you for the follow, Raptor Adventures. I'm gonna talk to you right now on YouTube. Um, Incredibly, the experiment was able to turn brain signals into the written word with a word error rate of as little as 3%. That was a little loud, wasn't it? Oh, maybe because remember last night the game was. Hold on, let me turn it down a little bit just to make sure. Incredibly, while there's obviously still a long way to go until our system like this can interpret everything someone is thinking, it's an impressive step toward. It's not an impressive step; it's an invasive step to me. I mean, you guys might think of it um, as something else, but I think it's weird. I think it's weird. No problem, Zach. No problem whatsoever, hon. You have a wonderful day. Take care, hon. It's an impressive step towards brain computer communication solutions that could one day make it possible for severely physical limited individuals to make their voices heard. That aspect is cool. Yes. I will say that aspect is very cool. But I feel like somebody's going to get a bug up their ass and try to use it for other things, if that makes sense. Everybody wants to know what, you know. All right, Nightbot, you're going night night. Remove. Oh, no, that's not going to even help. Hide user on this channel. Okay, there we go. There we go. So, yeah, I just feel like somebody's going to get world leaders are going to be like, I want to know what Russia's thinking. I want to know what China's thinking. I want to know what North Korea's thinking. You know what I mean? And just they're going to develop this thing. I mean, why not? They can already put by that little device that they whisper and it could be put into your head. Yeah, exactly, Freaky Geek. I can see this helping when somebody has a tube down the neck and can't talk. But is lucid. Yes, definitely. Definitely. That's a cool idea. But it's going to be used for other things. At least my take on it. My take on it, definitely. The next, exactly, spying. That's exactly it. You know, I mean, they have the parabolic mic thing that they use. They can point it at somebody, whisper, and the people hear it in their head, you know. So what's to say they can't reverse that and listen to what people are thinking? That freaks me out. Okay, the next story up is astronomers, yes, discover cosmic killer black hole. Apparently they discovered another black hole. Exactly, Freaky Geek, exactly. That's what a lot of people think why people go crazy is they do that shit and then, and it's something you can't prove, I don't think, because the people are only hearing voices, so it's not like you can prove it and say, "Hey, I heard this voice." So I mean, people have said that, and people thought they were nuts. You know, who's to say they people aren't messing with them? Telling you. So, a type of black hole that could be an important missing link has been discovered outside our galaxy. Science have been hunting for evidence of what is known as an intermediate mass black holes for years. And although they've found hints of their existence, the conclusive discovery of each such an object has long proven elusive. At around 50,000 times in the mass of the sun, these black hole or mid-sized black holes are larger than the type produced by collapsing stars, but also much smaller than the supermassive black hole found in the center of the Milky Way and other galaxies. So it's smaller than our black hole, but bigger than the ones that is produced by a collapsing star. Okay, I'm confused now. Okay, back in 2006, two telescopes, NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory and ESA's XMMN Newton Observatory, picked up a powerful burst of X-rays coming from an unknown location. By combining these findings with the data collected by the Hubble Space Telescope, scientists have since been able to pinpoint the source to a star cluster on the edge of a distant galaxy. Given that the burst did not come from the center of the galaxy, scientists now believe that the sign or the signal may have been produced by a star that was being torn apart by an intermediate mass black hole. Intermediate mass black holes are very elusive objects, and so It is critical to carefully consider and rule out alternative explanations for each candidate, said study principal investigator Deshang Lin from University of New Hampshire. That is what Hubble has allowed us to do for our candidate. So, besides the supermassive black hole that we have in the middle of the Milky Way, we have the ones that develop by um, stars, while the collapsing stars. These ones, I take it. I mean, there's not much to go on here. I wish they said more about it, and maybe I'll look further into it. But so there's other stuff. There's other black holes that just pop up wherever they. That's freaky. you know, just one pops up. Who's to say this black hole, the one they made at the observatory, or not the observatory, but the when they fired the neutrons at each other. I feel. Hold on one second, guys. Or maybe not. I thought I had a sneeze coming on there. I haven't had my sneezing fit yet this morning, so you never know. All right, let's move on. Well, that's what happens when most black holes. Our black hole in the middle of our universe keeps getting fed by all the stars that are going, getting sucked into it. A black hole does start when a planet die, or not dies, but crap, what did I just said? Collapses on itself. So, or a star collapses on itself, not a planet. Um, so that's what I mean. Are these ones just popping up randomly? How are they? yeah, supernova. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, what are these just popping up out of nowhere? What? you know? See, I think our scientists, I love science. Don't get me wrong. That was my favorite subject in school. I love science. I love biology. I love all that stuff. Okay. But when our scientists start, like HARP, for instance, some say it's a bad thing, some say it's a good thing. That's whatever your take is on it. You know what I mean? My take is I understand why they turned HARP on, but I don't think like our atmosphere, shooting ions into our atmosphere and stuff like that, none of that should be screwed with. You know what I mean? We're supposedly in that sweet spot between the sun, you know, because that's why we're here, is because we're just in a sweet spot, right? If you look at it scientifically. So why are we going to screw with it? Like our moon, for a lack of better terms, makes our waves in the water, right? So why are you going to shoot a nuke at the moon and try to whack it out of place? I mean, that's not what they were doing, but I mean, yeah, the Goldilocks zone. Thank you. So why are you going to mess with stuff like that? I don't understand scientists' thoughts on that. I mean, what if that nuke whacked the moon out of whack? Whacked the moon out of whack. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that I don't see, leave well enough alone. Just my take on it. Just my take on it. I don't see why they got to mess with the big stuff. Like I said, just my take on it. So the next story I got, is there a scientific explanation for deja vu? And I thought this was interesting because I don't know about you, but I hate deja vu. I hate the feeling of deja vu. Um, and I'm always trying to figure out what deja vu is. Well, not literally trying to figure it out because I have no clue where to even begin, but I do not like the feel of deja vu. So I thought this was interesting because most of us have experienced deja vu at some point in time in our lives, but what exactly causes the sensation? A lot of people speculate over what deja vu is. You ever walked into a room the first time and had that uncanny feeling like you've been there before? Over the years, there have been numerous official, unofficial explanations for deja vu, ranging from a glitch in the matrix to recalling an experience from a past life. But is there an official scientific answer? A number of studies have attempted to recreate deja vu on demand under laboratory conditions, including one in 2006 led by Leeds Memory Group, which used hypnosis to create simple memories which were then forgotten and then later remembered through certain triggers. That's a good question, Freaky Geek. I wonder if that's the mad scientist wanting to do the ultimate murder suicide on a large scale. That's creepy to think about, but it definitely, I mean, you know, that's I don't have an answer for that. It could definitely be. Yeah, I speak Taiwanese. I know. Spell check, it messes up more than anything than helps, But yeah, I mean, I just the whole nuclear bomb at the moon or nuclear missile at the moon. What if it knocked it out of the whack? I mean, God, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And they're supposed to be the smart ones, right? But yeah, you make a very interesting point. An ultimate ultimate murder suicide on a large scale. That's about it too. I mean, that's about it. Most recently, virtual reality has been used to trigger a feeling or uncertain familiarity by exposing volunteers to virtual game worlds with identical layouts but different textures and scenery. The most common explanation of deja vu is that it's a memory phenomenon that is triggered when a person links an experience with an existing memory that is similar but doesn't quite match. So they're kind of saying our brains that are at war with each other because it's remembering one way, but it happened a different way. So deja vu is like you're remembering something, but you're remembering the wrong way. In one study, however, when magnetic resonance imaging MRI, or fMRI, I don't know if that's a typo or what, was used to scan the brains of 21 volunteers while they were experiencing deja vu, the findings suggested it was part of the brain involved in decision making rather than memory that was most active. This could mean that we perceive as deja vu is actually our brains trying to cope with the conflict between that we are actually experienced what we actually experienced and what we think we experienced. Hey Lisa, how you doing? How you doing, hon? Welcome, welcome. Oh, is that one of the new things? I love tulips. How pretty. Is what that one of the new icons? Or emojis? Whatever you want to call them. I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing real well. No, that's not new. Oh, okay. See, I don't experience because I try to pull up the emojis when I'm on YouTube and it like takes forever. So I get stubborn. Oh, really, Freaky Geek? That's wild. We had snow last night, Lisa. Yeah. So I've had a few moments where I'm experiencing something as it's happening, be it a smell, hearing, or seeing, sometimes a combo of three scenes. Yeah, so I mean it makes sense. I understand what they're saying. Um, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. I just don't like. I agree with that, Lisa. Snow does belong on the mountains. Yeah, somebody else was having freezing rain earlier today. Um, I'm telling you, Old Man Winter, I got a runny nose. Old Man Winter decided to come back early from vacation, apparently. Sucks. So yeah, I don't know if I mean I understand what they're saying about deja vu. It's weird though that decision making. See, to me that's like the whole vibration thing. You know what I mean? Like in that instant, are you supposed to make a decision that affects your life? See, my mind goes all woo woo when it comes to that. I've done that. Yes, freaky geek. I've done that, and that is creepy, right? Right, Lisa? Yeah, I've heard of that many times. Yeah, I mean, like when smell pipe tobacco, I know I'm not around my brother who smokes a pipe. My dad smoked a pipe. So, I instantly think of him when I smell pipe tobacco because nobody ever really smokes a pipe anymore. I agree. It definitely could have been family members. Or if I smell Estee Lauder, I definitely think of my mom. But yeah, watching something on TV that's never been on, and knowing what's about to be said or done, my mother would say, "Did you write this?" Yeah, that definitely is creepy. I've done that, and it's like you could have wrote it and get paid for it. Excuse the sniffling, guys. So sorry. I apologize. I blame Boomer. I blame Boomer because of the fact that before I went live, I was on his stream, not on his stream, but I was watching his stream, talking back and forth, and he was eating stew. And I think I got hungry. So before I went live, I like crammed down two Pop Tarts real quick, and I think they were too hot. So now my nose is running. Yeah, it is allergy season too. Oh, yeah, Lisa, I can understand that then, definitely. You live right next to a cemetery plus an Indian home site. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Black seed oil. I'll have to see if I could find some of that. I'm sure I could for one of my wholesalers. I usually don't get affected by allergies, but this year's been so screwed up, you never know. You know what I mean? My kids, my two older kids, one had winter, well, they still do. One has summer allergies, one has winter allergies. So we always had I can't think of what they used to take. But yeah, so I thought that article was interesting on deja vu. That's cool. I will definitely check that out, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you for that tidbit. Definitely. I always love little tidbits like that. So here's an interesting article that I saw. It's weird, so I had to pull it up. Astronaut P could help build a moon base. Oh, that sucks, Freaky Geek. Yeah, year-round sniffles. That definitely sucks. So yeah, Astronaut P could help build a moon base. Is human urine really a viable construction material? Very weird, right? So, of course, I had to read it. The urine of the first lunar settlers could be used as a construction material to help build new structures. With plans to send humans back to the moon in full swing, which technically I don't know how they're going to do that because when they were talking about the first moon landing, if it happened, if you believe or if you don't believe, I know they were talking about moon dust was eating through their spacesuits. So I don't know if I want to live in a place where everything that is flying around is acidy. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, with plans to send humans back to the moon in full swing, or at least they were before the coronavirus situation, scientists have been working on ways to construct habitable buildings on the lunar surface. Imagine what, yeah, I know, right? Um, Actually, landing construction materials from Earth all the way to the moon could be extremely expensive and inefficient, which is why a lot of the focus has been finding ways to use the moon's own natural resources, especially water and regolith, wherever possible. Now, researchers have identified another resource that should be available to copious quantities once the first humans arrive on lunar surface: human urine. With it, they argue, it should be possible to create a type of plasticiner for construction purposes. Right? To make the geopolymer concrete that would be used on the moon, the idea is to use what is there: regolith, loose material from the moon's surface. See, and I think that's the stuff that eats through their spacesuits. And the water from the ice presented in some areas, said Roman Pamies, a materials scientist from the Polytechnic University of Cartagena. But moreover, with the study, we have seen that a waste product such as urine of the personnel who occupy the moon bases could also be used. The two main components of this body fluid are water and urea, a molecule that allows hydrogen bonds to be broken and therefore reduces the facilities, and I know I'm saying this all wrong, of many exotic mixtures. The researchers have been conducting tests to determine my nose is screwing me all up. Conducting tests to determine if urine infused building materials could actually survive the conditions of the moon, and so far the results look promising. However, there are still a long way to go before something like this could be applied in practice. No, but I've heard people talking about it. That's crazy, Lisa. I've heard, yeah, Constituent, right? I've heard people talking about that, but I haven't checked it out yet. I really should. I haven't been on Netflix because, see, I try to stay away from Netflix, even though we pay for it monthly. I try to stay away from it because I will binge hard. um, and then nothing would get done at all. It's bad enough I can binge on Philo because they have a DVR. So, so yeah, what do you guys think about that? Yeah. I know myself. I know how, it's nothing for me to sit there on the couch and, you know, binge out on shit. I have one long hair that's like right, or I'm just feeling the shit. Okay, so yeah, building. That's true, Lisa. that's true, Freaky Geek. I mean, see, you said Lisa, so I automatically go there. Um, Deja vu, yeah. Imitating fiction, vice versa. Look at The Simpsons. Woo! So, then now we come to, you got to do some cryptology. Turkey Mountain Bigfoot caught on camera. Can you guys see that okay? Unfortunately, I cannot. There's other pictures too, and that I cannot, unfortunately. That looks like an ape, but I don't know what's. I don't know like the animals. I believe in time travel, definitely. I don't know the animals of Turkey, but that looks too small to be. I mean, well, I'm sure there's baby Bigfoots. Looks like somebody wearing a sweater. Yeah, it kind of does, right? There's other pictures here too, but it's like a Facebook post, so I can't see them all. But yeah, it just seems wicked small. I mean, maybe it's the elf version of Bigfoot's. Yeah, it could be a teen. I don't know. So it says, let me uh, turn this down just a little bit because I can't read it all. Um, Is this a Bigfoot or someone in a costume? Visitors in the Turkey Mountains urban wilderness area have been reporting sightings of a strange creature. I mean, it might be something else. It might not. It could be an elven. Yeah, there are, Lisa, and it reminds me of oh crap, what's the name of it? There's one down south that has a reddish coat like that. Yeah. And that's the thing with Turkey. I don't know their climate. I don't know um what the forestry there is like, what habitat, you know what I mean? Hey Blue, how are you? So, visitors to the Turkey Mountain urban wilderness area have been reporting strange sightings of strange creatures. In a post on the region's official Facebook page, officials noted that they've been receiving a number of reports from visitors who describe seeing Bigfoot like creature. Over the weekend, we received dozens of calls and messages reporting a sighting at Turkey. The Post read, while investigating the matter, this seems to be a good time for us to remind you that social distancing of 6 foot is required when at Turkey Mountain. The wilderness, which covers a 300-acre area of undeveloped land in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oh, it's in Oklahoma. Read the article, miss. Maybe I should proofread before I. But I like getting just as surprised as you. That's true, Lisa. Yes. Yeah, that pisses me off majorly. I could see Grizzly Adams. Yeah. Images of the Bigfoot shown a light. Now I feel stupid. Here I'm thinking it's Turkey. God. Okay, so the wilderness, which covers a 300-acre area of undeveloped land in Tulsa, Oklahoma, has proven a popular destination for those looking to take a break from the monotony of isolating at home. Images of the Bigfoot show a light brown bipedal ape, partially obscured by bushes and trees. However, it remains impossible to discount the possibilities that it's simply someone in a costume. You could check up some additional photographs below. Is this a real Bigfoot or someone pulling a prank? You decide. See, they have a number, but it's a Facebook post. Oh, well, let me there. Oh, it does. Oh, maybe. I so did not read it right. So let's go ahead and pull these up. Or not. Come on, Turkey Mountain. Turkey Mountain is the. Yeah, that's not going to help me. Let's see. Oh, Facebook post won't go higher. That sucks. Okay. Okay, this Facebook post isn't going to work. Well, that's what I was thinking, Lisa. I was like, well, that's wild. Turkey has a Bigfoot. Yeah. Gobekli Tepe. Yeah. I know. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, Turkey. Apparently, I had a blonde moment. Exactly, Lisa. I saw it and I was like, well, that's pretty cool. Right? That's true. That's true, Freaky Geek. I mean, I don't know what these. Oh, they found a print apparently, but you can't see it. The stupid Facebook thing, and I don't understand because I've never heard. I mean, I've heard of Bigfoot's being in trees, definitely. That's I've never. But to me, it looks like he's trying to climb up the tree, and I don't see a Bigfoot climbing up the tree to get away from somebody. I've never heard of that. God, I feel so stupid now. Well, we live and learn, right? And I won't learn from this because I like being just as shocked as you guys are. I like being, right, yeah. But I've never heard of like this gives me the feel like the Bigfoot noticed it was spotted, so it started climbing a tree. Yeah, I don't see Bigfoot doing that. I mean, it could, I guess. Typically, it could. I don't know. But that's the thing. I hope, I'm with you on that, Lisa, and everybody. I'm sure everybody's the same way. I hate people faking stuff. I really do because I just do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure it would run in the woods too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Blue. I don't see them running up a tree to get away because they want to disappear. It's not that, and most of them do just disappear. Yeah, yeah, you guys feel the same way I do. All right. Are we ready for the next story? Now that we know we're not in Turkey anymore, I've heard them being up in the trees, Freaky Geek. I've heard of them. It's very rare, but I've heard of them being in the trees, but not running to escape and climbing a tree. You know what I mean? Could consciousness pervade the universe? Dun dun dun. This is an older article from January 20th, but I saw it and it caught my eye today. So, the question of exactly what consciousness is has puzzled philosophers and scientists alike for millennia. We, as the human race, are conscious, meaning that on a day to day basis, we perceive a great deal about the world around us. We feel, both physical and emotionally, and can not only ask big questions about our existence, but also the nature of existence ourselves. Yes, I've seen that too, Lisa, where they've made teepees out of trees and that. Exactly, Blue. Yeah. So, philosopher, but what is exactly is consciousness? Is it something that our brains produce, or can it exist outside of a complex, highly evolved forms of life? Could consciousness be inherent to all matter? Philosopher Philip Gall, author of Galileo's Error, Foundations for a New Science of Consciousness, that subscribes to panpsychism. Panas, I don't know. The idea that consciousness is not exclusive to the human mind, but it is, in fact, a fundamental feature of the universe that pervades through the cosmos. It doesn't mean that literally everything is conscious, he told Scientific America. The basic commitment is that the fundamental constitutes of reality. Perhaps electrons and quarks have incredibly simple forms of experience, and that the very complex experience of the human or animal brain is somehow derived from the experience of the brain's most basic parts. Yes, they remote view. Yeah, I do that kind of, but in the future of a house that I want to own. So I kind of remote view my future house. Or is that just daydreaming? I don't know. But I do it before night to go to bed with happy thoughts. Human beings have a very rich and complex experience. Horses less so, mice less so again. And as we move into simpler and simpler forms of life, we find simpler and simpler forms of experience. In this context, experience is a reference to perceive the world, either through pleasure or pain, or through seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, etc. Perhaps at some point the light switches off and consciousness disappears, said Goff. There you go, maybe a bit of both. But at least, but it's at least coherent to suppose that this continuum of consciousness, fading while never quite turning off, carries into an inorganic matter with fundamental particles having most unimaginably simple forms of experience to reflect their incredible simple nature. So, with that being said, what do you guys think the consciousness is? Not the subconsciousness, but the consciousness, us knowing, us seeing, us feeling. Do you think this is some? I mean, I know we're starting to come into a world where everybody is feels like, well, not everybody. I can't speak for everybody. Everybody is feels everything's connected. Could be in how we perceive. I mean, that's what I mean about when I sit there and say it's kind of like when I sit there and say about we make our own worlds, we see our own things. You know, I'm not trying to push that on nobody. This is just how my take on the world um is how we are all creating essence. That's another great way of putting it. Yes, our essence. Everybody perceives, obviously, if you're colorblind and I'm not, I'm gonna see things differently than you do, right? Um, but I think that we perceive things our own way to where we make our own worlds. And I know I'm probably not saying that right, but yeah, I think so too, Lisa. But I struggle for that. When I first thought about everybody being connected, I struggled with that feeling of like Eddie being a part of my soul, his soul being a part of my soul, or I mean, my kids, yes, I can understand that. Um, I mean, I went through a whole big thing of thinking really hard about how things are all connected and stuff. It's really weird, you know. Um, Yeah, it's just very weird. The thinking my brain does on a daily. Excuse me, sorry about that, guys. Um, Ooh, quick reflexes there. That hurt a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the thinking I do on a daily basis when it comes to stuff like this is very. Yeah, I never thought about this like in years before. It's like I take baby steps into things that resonate with me. So it's weird. I don't know. So moving on to another article that I pulled up was the haunted tree, and this is just a. Trying to figure out if I had a sneeze again. The haunted apple tree. This is just a short little scary story about this haunted apple tree. On August 12th, 1900, the New York Times published a story about a haunted apple tree. Here is my edited version of the creepy tale. In Douglas, Massachusetts, is perhaps the only town in America said to be home to a haunted apple tree. According to local legend, an unknown assailant murdered a man in the orchard there several years ago. Now they say the victim haunts the site about his murder. The story goes like this. One afternoon, a peddler laid down to rest beneath an apple tree in the orchard. Later that day, someone discovered the peddler's lifeless corpse. His throat had been slashed and he'd been bled to death in the afternoon sun. Locals suspected the orchard's owner, but the man was never charged and eventually moved away. Some say it was to escape justice. Others say it was to flee the peddler's angry spirit. After the owner's departure, the peddler haunted the orchard at night, terrorizing anyone who walked in the road nearby. According to witnesses, the terrifying spirit clutched his bloody neck and screamed so loudly that people could hear the extinguished wails from a mile away. The spirit was so horrifying that the officials eventually routed the road far away from the orchard. Why? Through the old trees in the orchard still bear though the old trees in the orchard still bear fruit, there's something strange about the tree the peddler died under. Its apples are streaked with a bloody red, and the marks extended from skin to score. Many say it's the blood of the murdered peddler who refused to be forgotten. No, apple trees are not the hippie trees. Can you imagine that? I would love to go there just to see the freaking apples. I want to see. I want to see. I want to see. Do I know anybody by Douglas, Massachusetts? I might. I'll have to check into that because I really want to see. I want them to go to that orchard, go to that haunted tree, pluck me an apple, and I want to see if the apple is streaked with blood, or at least blood markings. All right, moving on. Moving on. Strange happenings during filming of a UFO documentary. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I first saw this headline, I thought they were talking about Skinwalker Ranch, so I had to definitely check into it. Because you guys know me when it comes to Skinwalker Ranch. Filmmaking has got to be among the most difficult careers in the world. More so if the topic of your film is something as miraculous and controversial as the UFO phenomenon. If you're going to make a movie about tigers, then you know that your chances to travel into the jungles of South Asia or Oklahoma, chances are you'll be able to film. Thank you for the subscription. I missed who it was. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy it here. So chances are you'll be able to film some tigers. If your movie is about Mount Everest, we talk about aliens and we have alien sounds. Have you seen the new dish that is in China? It's huge. They're saying they want to connect with the aliens with this. It's amazing. No, I haven't. I will definitely check into that though, Lisa. That's pretty cool. Although it does sound familiar, but I don't think it's like it's the thing I'm thinking of. Um, if your movie is about Mount Everest, you can book your plane ticket to Nepal with full confidence that the mountain isn't going anywhere, right? But with UFOs, you always have to be you're always 2 steps behind them. So filmmakers need to follow a cold case approach. Visit the crime scene, interview the witnesses and the experts, and perhaps even analyze trace evidence, if any, but the chances of capturing your camera a bona fide flying saucer, or at least a fuzzy orange orb, are close to nil. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I hope they connect with something like that. Yet, that does not exclude the possibility of really weird things happening during the production of a UFO film. Nightsees, and I'm probably butchering his name because you guys know how I am. Famous quote: "If you gaze long enough into the abyss always gazes into you." I think that is so cool. I think I'm going to print that out and put it up on my wall. It is often invoked in paranormal circles to illustrate how to show an active interest in these mysteries can often carry some unforeseen circumstance. Take, for instance, the documentary Witness of Another World, Testigo de Otro Mundo. I don't know if I said that right. I wish Carrie was here. Released originally in 2018, last year, with English subtitles by an Argentinian filmmaker, Alan Stivelman. The film focuses on the story of Juan Perez, who in 1978 was a very young guacho, a, a Southern American cowboy who had an incredible close encounter of the third kind. A case so remarkable it has merited the personal investigation by none other than Jeff Valery. Thank you so much for liking the stream. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. WOAW shows, among other things, how Juan's experience forced him to isolate himself from society and even his own family, living as a recluse in a small cabin with no electricity or even running water, with no other company than his animals to whom he claims to be able to communicate. For you see, like many other UFO experiencers, Juan developed what you can only describe as psychic abilities, including the gift, or is that a curse, of prophetic dreams. Yeah, Freaky Geek was being Freaky Geek. So this is a minute, or well, almost 2 minutes, but this is what the movie is about. Really? It's not going to let me full screen it.
A group of people was expecting to hear a fantastic tale, but Juan broke down. What happened? What did he encounter?
Speaking to witnesses like Juan, the phenomenon could not fit in the four-dimensional physics that we use every day.
Por mucho tiempo lo llevé al miedo. Muchísimo tiempo.
Juan is a hunter who has been hunted. More than 30 years have passed, and he still has PTSD from that childhood event.
Orero laro roikwa hape veningo la tesakar tesapusok upecha omo.
Tem coisa merece inetranho lero viajando.
They were the prescribing an impact on consciousness, an impact on their thoughts,
Para mí era un sueño normal.
an impact on their dreams,
Pihak berat kuliah kuliah memang.
and an impact on their life.
Dia aparecer kuah seramu, kuah kahang.
These people have something to teach us.
El gaucho también llora.
We demonize the unknown. We are afraid of it.
So that's the movie, and that's what he was talking about. In the film, there's a scene in which Dr. Nestor Berlanda, a professional psychiatrist who's been treating Juan for many years, is shown conducting a sort of hypnotic regression therapy on him in order to reveal more information of what happened on that fateful morning of September 6, 1978, when the then 12-year-old boy, who was sent by his father to fetch the herd of horses, found himself instead face to face with a shiny object, which his juvenile mind first mistook for a tractor or a barn, and inside the barn he encountered two non-human entities, very tall humanoids and a small being which looked like a robot. On the podcast interview that my friend Greg Bishop and I recorded with Alan, among many of our questions for him, we asked about the scene in particular, because we were both keenly aware of the backlash generated by the use of hypnosis in abduction research due to the potential risk of implanting false memories to the witness. Alan explained to us that the procedure Dr. Berlanda had applied on Juan carried no such risk, because was different from the typical hypnosis performed by therapists, and that it is more a method of relaxation than actual trance-like state. Of course, critics could argue that relaxation is the whole point of hypnosis, so I guess Dr. Berlanda could be the only one able to explain the difference in detail. Another aspect of the therapy scene Greg had found very interesting was how, at one point in the session, Berlanda suggested Juan to ask questions to the tall humanoid, like, "Why are they here?" or "Why did you choose me?" in which he apparently received some surprising answers. So apparently this is what the alien looked like, the tall one. This is what the ship looked like. Apparently there's some inside the ship. I can't see the picture. Yeah, the entryway and all that. What would be the point of asking of such questions, Greg asked Alan, if they really hadn't taken place during the original event of 1978? Was Berlanda trying to help Juan attain some sort of closure by way of filling in gaps of his encounter using his own imagination? No, Alan said to us. And that would seem a total departure from casualty and logic. Berlanda had discovered that by taking Juan into a proper state of mind, he apparently not only is able to remember what had taken place to him in the past, but also he was able to communicate with them as they were there during the session in the present time. That would be cool. Could you imagine? I mean, you're in a different state of mind, right? So I can understand that. As incredible as this may sound, there are at least another example of the UFO literature in which similar interactions with alleged alien intelligence, while in the presence of independent research, have been documented. I'm talking here, of course, about the hypnotic sessions with Betty Andreasson Luca, as described by the author Raymond E. Fowler in the classic book The Andreasson Affair. According to Fowler, during the 12th regression session, which was conducted on July 16, 1977, the MUFON investigators were attempting to extract more details about the event that happened to Betty and her family on January of 1967, when she was taken from her home and led by a group of gray aliens to a circular craft, and from there to another realm in which she received visions of a mystical nature. when suddenly Betty's mind spontaneously shifted from her past memories to the present, and she found herself unable to move her arms and legs. She also felt as if someone or something was controlling her words, and suddenly, to the amazement of everyone present, she began to talk with a mechanical tone in an unknown language. This star language was later determined to be very similar to ancient Gaelic. At one point, it seemed as the hypnosis with Andreasen had turned into a mediumship session. Mediumship. And the investigators were trying to ask direct questions to the intelligence or intelligences controlling Betty, who was answering them in plain English. Although the meaning of the replies still remained too cryptic, at other times the flow of the communication and messages in the star language were interrupted by meaningless bursts like base 32, base 32, signal base 32. Now, something freaky happens because I said that out loud. I'm going to kick this article's ass. And it was later suggested messages from a truck driver using a CB radio was messing with the alien transmission, hijacking Betty's mind. Could it be that electromagnetic signals generated by human technology could interfere from the superior? Right, Freaky Geek? Oh my God. Could it be that electromagnetic signals generated by human technology could actually interfere with the superior technology of UFOs? Although no one is able to answer that question, basically every ufologist accepts that the opposite is true, based, for example, on the many cases in which automobile engines have been shut down by the close proximity of a UFO, which is attributed to the tremendous magnetic field surrounding the objects affecting the car's alternator. Which brings us back to Witness of Another World, and two other fascinating incidences occurring during the filming of the intriguing hypnotic session between Dr. Berlanda and Juan, which Alan shared with Greg and I during our interview, despite the fact they were not mentioned in his documentary. During the shooting of that scene, which took place inside Juan's humble house in the middle of the Argentinian Pampa, all the lights in the camera crew's equipment began to flicker all at once, an inexplicable phenomenon, given how many there were being powered with independent batteries. That's Alan. He's the one that did the documentary. Even more fantastic still is that every single member of Alan's team, with the exception of himself and Dr. Berlanda, fell asleep at the exact moment when Berlanda told Juan to ask the question to the tall humanoid, and they didn't wake up until the session ended. Both Greg and I were totally dumbfounded when Alan told us these things via Skype in October of 2019. It goes without saying that to this day he doesn't have any explanation to why these things happened while he was making his movie, and neither have I. Perhaps part of the answer lies in what Betty Anderson told MUFON investigators while she was in a hypnotic trance in 1977, that to these beings, whatever they come from, or wherever they come from, the future and the past are the same as today. Yeah, Lisa, were you here when I did the whole Book of Aliens? The KGB Book of Aliens? If you look back in my they got the bad aliens and the good aliens and stuff like that. Interesting. What do you guys think about that? And that's, like I said, with this making of this channel, I wanted it to be a safe haven for everybody to talk about any experiences, whether it be paranormal, whether it be out of cryptozoology, whether it be alien or UFO, anything. That's why I wanted a safe haven, because I'm so upset that say they've been abducted by aliens, or they've seen Bigfoot, or they've seen ghosts even. I mean, we're more lenient on the ghost thing now, but back in the day it wasn't so. To where, people look at this guy. He made himself a recluse because of this. And that's sad. He obviously had some sort of experience. Not saying it was maybe not alien. I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't in his head. I don't know what was going on. But he turned himself into a recluse because of this. Shit like that. You gotta not question it, but just believe that the person had some sort of experience. And that's why I hate, name calling and all that stuff when it comes to that stuff, because we don't know. We didn't live through it. I know. Same here, Freaky Geek. I saw that and I really want to see it now, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I went through the whole book of the aliens of the KGB alien book. Um, if you do, want to see it, it's in my, I think, What If Wednesdays grouping. But yeah, I mean, that's why I have a safe haven of this channel. That's why I like doing this channels, because I want everybody to feel safe when they come in here and talk, whether it be, like I said, about thinking of the Twilight show. No, there's some, I'm telling you, that are scary. All right. The next story I got going on, my computer is like, what are you doing to me? Hold on. Asking the question, is Sasquatch a telepathic creature? In the article titled, Has Bigfoot Ever Spoken to You Telepathically?" we learn the following, and I've never seen that article, but I probably should read it. We learn the following: there have been many stories of telepathic abilities among people who have had experience with Bigfoot. Now, I've read a lot of Bigfoot stories. I've read a lot of... Now, I will say, maybe not that they've spoken to people through telepathy, but gave them that sense of calmness and not to freak out, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think I've read anything about Bigfoot speaking. Now I'm not going to have to go through and research that. So, and even among those research, I should talk send Ken Gehart a message. That's crazy. Even among those researchers who haven't had an experience themselves, there are many Bigfoot researchers and hunters that believe they have communicated with Bigfoots in what they call mind speak. Well, I don't know. This can be considered a form of telepathy involving nonverbal communications via thoughts. Okay, Freaky Geek, no problem. Emotions, impressions. Yeah, the emotions, that's what I was talking about. Impressions and even images. Many of these people who have experienced this phenomenon believe that they become more skilled at receiving and interpreting their communication as the creature becomes more attuned to them. And it really isn't that crazy of an idea. Many physicists have proven that animals communicate through extrasensory perception, and furthermore, much of the scientific community also holds the belief that humans can as well. There's absolutely no doubt that one of the most controversial claims within the field of Bigfoot study is that which suggests the creatures are able to converse with us via telepathy, mind-to-mind communication. No one will be surprised to learn that many of those Bigfoot investigators who hold up the idea that Bigfoot is simply an unidentified ape scoff at such theories or possibilities. There is, however, a body of investigators who are not so sure that the matter can be regulated in a world of fantasy or hoaxing and nothing else. The Real Psychic Power website notes, Connie Willis, writing for HuffPost, tells of her psychic Bigfoot encounter while on what I believe was an expedition deep into the woods to try and find Bigfoot. She notes that after falling asleep in the pop-up tent she was sleeping in, she was awoken when it began to rock. The other person in the tent was out cold, and Willis then reported her psychic Bigfoot encounter. And it was quite an encounter. As Willis herself admitted, my body was frozen solid, and then I realized something was standing at the end of where my feet were on the other side of this tent. Smelling, skinny, whiny, keep you from the rain canvas. But no keeping you from big hairy creature canvas. All right, hon. Thank you for coming in, Lisa. I appreciate it. I hope you feel better, sweetie. And you stay safe as well. Love you, hon. Thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate it. I felt what I believe were two big beings standing right outside where I was, and then heard what I later learned was called mind speak. Well, here you go. That is what you came to see. Yes, I heard that now. Yes, I heard that. Well, here you go. Can you imagine? Well, here you go. This is what you came to see. I think that would freak me out more than actually, I don't know. I knew what was inches away from me, my chance to see the legendary Bigfoot, and not just one, but two. You know, all I had to do was unzip the window and I would see them. I could feel them actually waiting for me to make my decision to do it. Then I did. I made my decision. I didn't want to see them. And it's so funny because I've had those emotions before about something. Like something was waiting for me to like maybe open the door. And I was like, I don't wanna. I know you're there. That's enough. Does that make sense? Bigfoot investigator Linda Jo Martin offers the following. My goal as a Bigfoot researcher has always been to learn to communicate with them. I want to create friendships with these forest people, to learn how they think and what they think. For me, psychic ability, ESP, is a valuable tool for Bigfoot research. Even if the forest people have different languages, I can clearly understand them through ESP. For those who may laugh at the idea that animals, and in this case unknown animals, might have psychic skills, there's the following. In 1952, the U.S. Army secretly looked into the matter of teaching dogs to search for deadly landmines on battlefields. The strangest aspect of the program was that it would explore the feasibility of dogs using extrasensory perception, ESP, to find the landmines. The Army contracted Dr. Joseph Banks Rhine, PhD, to come aboard. The operation progressed quickly according to the documentation, which has been released under the terms of the Freedom of Information Act. Two dogs in particular, named Tessie and Binny, scored very well. Welcome back, Freaky Geek. Hey, Ron, what's up? I don't know. Apparently, Ron, it just don't want you to. I don't understand why it's not working. I have it up. Where is it? There it is. Everything's on. I don't know. Yeah, I know. It's so weird. I don't understand. Really have to look into it. It's crazy. But yeah, so I mean, they're thinking these dogs use the ESP to find the landmines instead of their sniffers. So pretty weird. But I've like I said, I've had that feeling before. Not just, I'm not saying with Sasquatch or anything like that, but like with some spirits. I I don't know if it's because I got scared enough to where I'm just laying there and it's like, okay, just please leave me alone. Like I talk to my spirit guides, you know what I mean? So I'm like, basically, like when I go into the shower, like I know spirits are all around me. So when I go into the shower, I'm like, I'm scared of them talking in my ear and me getting freaked out and slipping and falling. You know, I'm almost 50. I don't want to break anything right now. Um, so I'll tell my spirit guides, okay, block it off. I don't want to hear anything. Yeah, freaky geek. I go in the shower. I hope I'm alone in there, right? That's what I'm saying. I just, block them off. So, I mean, stuff like that. I don't know. I've had that feeling before. So I can totally understand about maybe that encounter with a Sasquatch of just, hearing, well, this is what you're here for. Come take a peek. And you're like, no, I'm good. Really, I'm good. Not because you're freaked out. Well, yeah, probably a little because you're freaked out. Just that feeling and knowing of something's there. And you're like, okay, I know you're there. Just don't mess with me. I don't know. I'm just weird that way. Oh, what else we got here? Do one more story. The Langoliers. I've heard of the movie. I don't. If I watched the movie, it was very, very long time ago, and I really don't I mean, I know it's a good movie. Oh, really, it's not going to let me do it. I'll search it. I don't care. Yeah, Ron, it's just oh yeah. Okay, now I remember it. I remember Langoliers. Yeah, Stephen King movie. Yeah. As a program, a TV program? I don't know. It looks like they Oh yeah, they had a series in 1995. Yes, I remember that movie cover. I do remember that. That's where they'd come out of nowhere, right? Like they come out of the I don't remember. When did the V come out? That's the only program I watched. Well, I think that was earlier than 95 though, with the V. Oh, Ron, stop. Fluffy, that's right. I'm fluffy. I have a lot of fluffiness inside me. Yes, I remember Tales from the Dark Side at least. That was my favorite. That and Friday the 13th, the series. I don't remember the Langoliers being a series, though. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I love to give myself false memories, apparently. I used to love Tales from the Dark Side. That was definitely my favorite TV show growing up. I'd watch it before I go to bed. But Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th, the series creeped me out. Like I knew there was possibilities that some of those things could actually exist. I remember the one that creeped me out the most, or at least the one that stays in my mind, was the one Friday the 13th, the series with the dollhouse. Tales from the Crispy. Oh, maybe Freaky Geek. Yeah, it said 1995 miniseries. So that could be. Yeah, Tales from the Crypt. Yeah. I already know about that. Let's go. Let's see. So I thought this was weird. Strange Waters. These are the oddest theories about Scotland's most famous monster. Of course, I know you gotta love spell check, right? I never read the comics. They had the Tales of the, or not Tales of the Dark Side, the Crypt Keeper comics. That's what we're talking about, right? The Crypt Keeper. Ha 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 ha. Since the early part of the last century, Scotland's famous Loch Ness Monster has remained in the headlines for stories of unusual water monsters said to dwell there. Every year, new reports of sightings continue to be logged, which, get it logged? Haha, no. Which have helped to keep the otherwise quiet little town of Inverness and its famous loch one of the world's most popular tourist destinations. Oh yeah, I do remember looking. Yeah, I remember looking at a book. Loch Ness remains a hub for the would-be monster hunters, even in the light of the fact that the last year, a study carried out by New Zealand scientist Nick Gemmell found no evidence for unknown animals in the lake. Yes, the Crypt Keeper and the Dark Side, Tales of the Dark Side, were totally two different things. Yes, I like Goosebumps, the show and the books. I used to love it when my kids would get the Goosebumps series from the library. I'd read it before they did. Gemmell did not allow for possibility, however. There is a very significant amount of eel DNA, he told the BBC. Eels are very plentiful in Loch Ness, with eel DNA found at pretty much every location sampled. There are a lot of them. So, are the monsters giant eels? Gemmell expressed that the data retrieved in the team's study, which involved the study of environmental DNA collected from the Loch Ness, didn't reveal the size of the eels, which would have helped and counter for whether any large varieties could have been mistaken for the monsters. However, he added that the sheer quantity of the material says that we can't discount the possibility that there may be a giant eel in Loch Ness. Therefore, we can't discount the possibility that people might see and believe as Loch Ness Monster might be a giant eel. This isn't the strangest theory that has been offered about Nessie, as the creature is often called. Ideas have been put forth over the years that range from ghosts of existing species like dinosaurs to living fossils and a host of other notions that often border the bizarre. Here are just a few examples. Oh, really, Ron? Sterile eels? Am I saying that right? Or sterly eels? Anything eels is not coming out right in my mouth. That's pretty cool. I never knew that. So the telemonstrum theory. This is one of the most unusual ideas ever proposed about Nessie, advanced by researcher F.W. Holliday back in his 1968 book, The Great Orm of Loch Ness. In it, Holliday suggested that Nessie might actually be kind of an invertebrate, or as he called it, an orm, which simply an archaic Old Norse term meaning snake, worm, or dragon. Holliday's idea was that a creature very similar to the telemonstrum, an ancient invertebrate known only from fossils discovered in Illinois in the 1950s, might be the account, all right, for sightings in Loch Ness, the Loch Ness Monster. My mouth is going dry. I want to see what this creature looked like. Ew. Oh, those are wild. I can see that, but that's a big ass claw. Is that the back of it or the front of it? Or is that a mouth? It looks like a lobster claw or a crab claw. That's so weird. What is this thing? Is that its eyes? Oh, that's creepy. Or is this radar? It's got a radar. That's creepy looking. No, 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 no. That should not live. Oh my God. I don't even know what. I can't get over that. Oh my God. That's creepy. Can you imagine that thing coming at you? Is that its eyes? Yeah, Ron's got that freaking fish going. That is so creepy. Oh my God, that shouldn't. No. No, 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 no. Okay. Let's get off of that. I don't want that. I don't want. That is not beloved Nessie. Okay. Oh, oh my God, Missy, scroll down. See, now that has different eyes. Still weird as fuck. Excuse my language, but that has different eyes. Holiday seems pretty solid on the idea. I mean, I could understand that, but they see flippers too. Look at it, looks like it's got submarine holes. Like people in there hanging out. Wow. Ron would have fish. Oh my God. So wild. Tully's monster did one great thing. It's a firm demonstrate that worm-like animals with the appearance of Plesiosaurus did once exist. Equally important, it provided a key which helped to explain the classic Gray and Wilson pictures in terms of the known. High dealing with the orm, it is possible to argue a rational case with actual specimens available for reference, even though the fuller implications of the argument require much more proof than it is present available. No one knows whether the Orm of Loch Ness is a form of Tully monstrum, but talking most unscientifically, I would bet my shirt that it is. Right, that's true. I don't know what, like, kind of life it has in the Loch Ness, you know? Because, you know, I speculate in all the weird shit. The only problem with this theory, apart from the fact that the Tully monstrum has been extinct for around 3 million years, is that no traces of the unrecognized DNA have been detected in the loch. Is that the ancient invertebrate in question probably never grew any larger than about 18 inches at most, whereas sightings of Nessie indicate a much larger animal. 18 inches, so that would be what, how many feet? I'm so bad with math. Those are small. I know it's really small, right? Whatever it is. Even if it's small, it looks creepy as hell. 1.5, yeah, because a foot's 12 inches, right? Yeah. That's still, I couldn't imagine, oh my God, I couldn't imagine picking even a little one up and be like, ah, what the hell is that? Those are creepy. The camel theory. Still ugly. Yes, it is. Yes, you read that right. The idea has been proposed that sightings of Nessie could actually involve a camel, which for some reason or another might have been hanging around the Loch Ness at one time or another. Early accounts of Loch Ness Monster differ, noted Tom Whipple, science editor for the Times, in the article last year. In 1932, Colonel Fordyce and his wife spotted a shaggy, long-necked camel-like creature. Do you think Nessie's a camel? Fordyce's account wasn't conveyed in print until 1990, when it appeared in the Scots magazine. According to his account, it was a spring day, and Fordyce had been jogging with his wife along Loch Ness, and at that time of the sighting had been leaving in their car along the road towards Fort William. According to Fordyce's account, traveling at about 25 miles an hour in this wooden section, they were startled to see an enormous animal coming out of the woods on our left and making its way over the road about 150 yards ahead of us towards the loch. It had the gait of an elephant, but it looked like a cross between a very large horse and a camel, with a hump on its back and small head on a long neck. I stopped the car and followed the creature on foot for a short distance. Once started letting out. Oh, no shit, Ron. I've never heard that. Fordyce recalled that the creature had seen from the rear had a gray and shaggy appearance with a long, thin neck. Although his early impressions had been a camel or horse-like creature, he did note that the creature's long, slim neck gave it the appearance of an elephant with its trunk raised. This strange animal occupied our thoughts and conversation for many, many miles, and we came to the conclusion that it was an escaped freak from a menagerie or zoo. Fordyce said that of this encounter, we felt that the beast of such tremendous proportion would soon be tracked down and captured. Interestingly, the Fordyce sighting was not the only early encounter that would liken the Loch Ness Monster to a land-dwelling, camel-like beast. Peter Costello recounted in his classic In Search of Lake Monsters that one Patrick Rose had told him about his living descendant, David Murray Rose, had allegedly seen, I felt like I read the cousin of a cousin of a cousin, who's a friend of a cousin, had allegedly seen an animal near the loch in 1771 that was a cross between a horse and a camel with its mouth on its throat. That's creepy to even think about. I'm buffering. Oh, come on, really? Stupid buffering. Are you sure it's not just me stuttering, Ron? Because that could be me. Ron. More than a century later, the crew aboard a steamer then ran between Inverness and Aberration Pier claimed to have seen an unusual beast on a few occasions. Hey, PMDB, how are ya? Okay. Yeah, I can't do the circle. How are you? Hope everything is well. Claimed to see an unusual beast on a few occasions that was a furry animal with legs, rather than an amphibian, fish, or any other aquatic animal. So that's another one. Is this camel that had a mouth on its throat? I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. The paranormal theory. We're going over theories right now of what Loch Ness, the different theories that were about Loch Ness Monster, about Nessie. The idea that Nessie's DNA didn't turn up in the loch last year hasn't dissuaded some proponents of even more far-out theory that the famous beast might not be physical as we know it. My friend and fellow MU blogger Nick Redfern has become one of the chief proponents of this idea in recent years, and even penned a book on the topic called Nessie, Exploring the Supernatural Origins of the Loch Ness Monster. In Nick's view, looking at Nessie as purely cryptozoology beast doesn't hold water. The entire loch and its immediate surroundings have been swamped in definitive supernatural activities for a century. Hey, field guy, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope all is well with you. What's going on? Nick isn't alone in his views. He notes that Donald Amond, a clergyman from Devon, I'm not sure how to say that, also had a similar opinion that the monster decades ago, that they are supernatural entities that can only be encountered when the circumstances are conducted as an encounter. Well, that's good. So Amand apparently was influential enough with his paranormal interpretations of the Loch Ness, or the Loch and its monsters, that the aforementioned F.W. Halliday, after having initially proposed that Nessie was a cousin of the extinct Tully Monstrum, eventually began to also suppose that it was only a supernatural interpretation could account for all the weirdness associated with the lake. So what do you guys, what do you guys, thank you, PMDB. I hope you have an awesome day as well. And take care. Be safe out there. Thank you so much for stopping in. So those are different theories all over about Nessie. Which is weird. You know, I mean, I can understand the paranormal aspect of Nessie. You know what I mean? Like different... seen it at different times. All right. All right, Freaky, take care, hon. Thanks for coming in. My sparkles are back. They're not on my computer. Really? That's so weird. My sparkles are back. That's so weird. They're not on my computer. I restarted my computer last night just to get rid of the sparkles. That's weird. That's so crazy. I don't see them here today. Like last night, I saw them big time. They transferred to you. Because I'm not seeing sparkles at all. Not even on any of my screen. Nowhere. That's so weird. But that's been your Freaky News Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh my God. That's so funny. Remember last night, Freaky Geek, when we had I'm still here. Can you guys see me now? Thank you. Remember last night, Freaky Geek, when I said that it looks like glitter bombs had gone all over my screen, but you guys couldn't see it, but I did when I was playing my game on DLive? Ron's saying he's seeing them now. I don't see them here. Thank you for the diamond, by the way, Ron. Sorry. You did. I was just grabbing my mouse and I hit the little side buttons. Knocked me right out of there. Oh, that was crazy. Nope, that was me. That was me. And my cursor goes translucent when I'm on certain colors and that. But yeah, that has been you guys' Freaking News Friday. I hope you guys all enjoyed that. I hope I brought you some good news. Yes, some good, weird, and odd news. And yeah. Of course, make sure you're subscribed, followed. Oh, God. Thank you so much for the follow. That scared me too. Thank you so much for following. But yeah, make sure you follow, you subscribe, and all that good stuff. Because you're blind to the magic. See, you blinded yourself so long, Freaky Geek. Yeah. That's weird. That's so weird. That might have been me with my cursor. Because it definitely does some weird stuff when it goes over words and that. And I know at the end, because if you could hear my voice crackling or me trying to talk, and it was like really stumbling, more so than not, I try to trace it like I was reading a book, with my cursor. So that might have been me. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys, it is the weekend, so I might be going live tonight. I might. Freaky Geek, when are you free to see the third installment of that documentary? If anybody's interested, I'll be showing a documentary one of these nights. Whenever you're free, doesn't matter to me what day. Because you got to see the last one, We are on lockdown. There's Ron dancing away again. There he goes. All right, you want to do it tonight? Or do you want to wait until, just hit me up on Facebook. If you're in early enough before it gets dark, hit me up on Facebook, let me know. Say, "All right, I got the popcorn popped." And I'll throw that up. Oh, we'll tell Eli I said hi. I'm ending, Ron, so if you want to go, that's no problem with me, hon. Is he live on DLive or YouTube? Right, true, Freaky Geek. Take care, Ron. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Oh, all right, all right. Oh, it's no worry, Ron. If you can't make it, it's, you know what I mean? Enjoy yourself, no matter where you are. Eli's the one that comes in here, Freaky Geek. Thank you so much for subbing. Dark Airwalker? Did I say that right? Thank you so much for the sub. Yeah, it's hard to tell, you know. Oh, okay, I did. Okay, I couldn't see really good of when your name popped up of what it was. So Dark Airwalk. Well, thank you so much for subbing. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. All right, Freaky Geek. Like I said, I might go live on DLive later on tonight. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed Freaky News Friday. We had some interesting articles, definitely. Some mind-talking stuff. Mind-talking. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Be safe out there. Okay, Freaky Geek, sounds like a plan. Let's go ahead and get the credits rolling. I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping in. You guys are awesome. I can't say enough about you guys. You guys you keep me up and running. I'm telling you. Yeah, so make sure you stop in. Like I said, over the weekend, I might go live doing some gaming. I don't know. Talking some BS. I don't know. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much for stopping in today. I appreciate it. I hope you had a great time as much as I did. And I will talk to you Monday for Monday Musings Paranormal Talk. Let's share your stories. Let's get them out there. All right, guys, have a beautiful weekend. Take care. Be safe. Love you all. And I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.